WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Visit Bloomington, Indiana, where Hoagie Carmichael, Booker T. Jones, and John Mellencamp impacted the city and helped it become a music destination. Bloomington is home to a variety of musical artists, live music venues, and hundreds of annual music events. More information at musicbloomington.com.
Rapper Jessica Garrett is better known to Indianapolis music fans as Joosi Got Bars. Joosi was born and raised on the west side of Indianapolis, and she's been recording and releasing music for over a decade. Joosi issued her debut album, R&B Rappin', in 2022. Since then, she's performed at events like Indy Black Expo and at venues including the Vogue and The HI-FI. On August 23rd, Joosi will be performing at Chreece, an all-day hip-hop festival held in Fountain Square. Let's join my conversation with Joosi Got Bars. Joosi, we're going to talk about your upcoming performance at Chreece and some projects you have coming out later this year. Okay. Thank you so much for coming back to talk about your work in music. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Last time we were here, we talked briefly about your background, but I wanted to go a little deeper, if you don't mind. Did you grow up here in the city?
I did. I've always lived here in the city.
What part of town did you grow up in? What was life like for you as a kid in Indianapolis?
I am from the west side of the city. I have been doing music my entire life. My mom has VHSs of me as a baby, a 2-year-old, walking around with my radio and the microphone and singing songs and on the porch singing songs. And it was like a full circle moment for me as I got older to watch the videos like, oh man, I was born with this gift, truly, But both of my parents, they separated when I was young. So I got different flavors of music from both parents. And now that I'm an artist, I'm realizing that I've combined the two just to kind of make my own sound. But it's literally always been my lifestyle.
What part of the west side did you grow up in, if you don't mind me asking?
Near Riverside Park.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
yeah.
Right over in that area.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening over there now.
Yes.
Yeah.
My entire family really, on my mom's side, lived over there. So.
Yeah. What was it like when you were a kid growing up there?
It was fun. I have a lot of memory. I rode my bike a lot as a kid. Like, all my memories is like on the bike, outside, just at the park, and just, fun times.
Yeah, it's a beautiful neighborhood.
It is.
You mentioned both of your parents were into music. What were you hearing as a young person that has influenced your work?
So I used to ride around. I don't know what my dad was doing all day, but we were always in the car. And I got a lot of Too Short vibes, a lot of rap music when I was with him. And my mom had this big stacked radio at home, and that's where I got the R&B vibes from. Like, when you wake up on Sunday morning, it's time to clean up. The music is blasting, the windows are open, so I got a lot of my R&B background from my mom and a lot of the rap from my dad.
Yeah. You mentioned you've been interested in music since you were a kid. And last time you were here, you told me you've been making music, recording and releasing music for over a decade. Mm-hmm. Tell me about what initially inspired you to get started recording your own music.
One of my friends had a studio on his front porch, and I had access to it. And I'll never forget when I recorded my first song and I took the CD home, I must have played it a million times over and over again. And I think I just got hooked on that feeling of like just hearing my thoughts and like just really bringing them to life like that. And when I started letting other people hear it, they loved it. Like they were shocked that it was me. They've always seen me walking around with the notebook, but to actually hear it, it was motivating for me. It was definitely something that I knew I was going to continue doing, and I must have got on his nerves at that studio. I was there so much, and over time, I've grown. My sound has grown. Everything about my music has, of course, it's inevitable, but it's just that's where it all started, on the front porch. And I had a lot of friends also that rapped at the time, and I was the only female, and I just think it was just like a push for me to keep going. So,
do you mind saying how old you were when you started out?
I know I don't mind. I think it was maybe around 2007 or 8 when I first heard myself over the recording. It was like, but I had been doing music, writing music way before that. Yeah. I just didn't have access to the studio. So,
what were you rapping about in those early tracks? What did you sound like? Is it a lot different than what you're doing now?
No, it's not. I remember the song I was saying, I'm just trying to hustle, but I can barely concentrate. Every time I turn around, I get the hate. And it was just kind of like basically just me saying, like, I'm trying, but it's tough,
Yeah.
And I still write about that to this day because I'm still trying and it's still tough, I've just found a better way to articulate my thoughts and be more relatable.
Before we move on from the subject, I want to throw some titles at you.
Yeah.
See if they mean anything. With You, My Struggle,
Yes.
Stuck on Me.
Yes. Yes.
You still remember that?
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. It's always going to be because there's always going to be an obstacle that I'm going to, face and get past.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
Product of my environment. I'm trying to stack this change. And if you weak, it ain't no way you make it through this game. You do not know my struggle. 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 Everything I go through, everything I live, and shit I seen, got me out here hustling, scared of nothing and chasing my dreams. Mama told me to conduct myself just like a boss. And my daddy told me if you got it, go on and floss.
Yeah, those early tracks sound good. I checked them out. You
Thank
told me
you.
you had some floating around, and I was
Yeah.
able to track them down.
And I can't believe that. I cannot.
You've made a lot of progress since then, though.
Mm-hmm.
You've really established yourself as one of the dominating MCs in the scene. That's evident through your appearances at Chreece. That's evident through the collaborations you've done with people like Maxi, the owner of Nap or Nothing, one of the really central figures in the contemporary rap scene here. In the last few years, you've released multiple projects, albums, mixtapes, singles. Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing today in music, and can you describe your sound and style as an MC?
Today, I am just trying to be as productive as possible. I'm realizing that without a team, the weight can really truly be heavy. So every day, I set a goal musically, whether it's big or small, and it has to be accomplished before I go to sleep. I'm almost blind, like I'm just going, I don't really know. I don't have a plan other than succeeding. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know that if I continue to do what I'm doing, the only way is up.
You see what we on, you already know. You see what we on, you already
If I see you slipping, I'm grabbing you under your shoulder to keep you from hitting the ground. If I think you tripping, I'm tapping you right on your shoulder to tell you should tone it down. Really my round. I hope you give me the same energy if I'm on one and clown. Move like a unit, we stay in the float. Ain't no way they're gonna never see the team drown. We trying to round these bands up. We thinking big expansions. We trying to spend it right now while we living. We trying to get mama a mansion. We just ain't about to take no for an answer. We might hold a motherfucker ransom. I feel like this is the anthem. Make you shake up with your man now. Yeah.
I have a lot of really great mentors, like you've mentioned. I have a lot of people around me that do the same things that I do. We kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and they really respect what I do, and it helps me on this journey. But I am doing it alone, but it's working for me. I just want to focus on making great music. Everything that I drop, I get these messages from people saying how I've inspired them or how I've helped them in some way. So I feel like whatever I'm doing is working, and I just want to continue to do that. As far as my sound, I consider myself an R&B rapper, and it's because I blend the two, which a lot of artists are doing these days. But I just try to find a cool, catchy, title for it. But I consider myself an R&B rapper because on almost every song, I find a way to sing, whether it's in the background or on a verse.
Drowning, baby, can't save me. I've been feeling lately, and I wanna know if you can come relax. 'Cause you know what I'm in for. Relax into my tempo. You know I'm an info. I want you to save me. I'm needing your energy, but you gon' need a life jacket, little baby, if you gon' swim in the sea. Come bring me that remedy. Like what you do when you move with a purpose. Gentle with me 'cause you don't wanna hurt it. I need you to be as rough as you need to be with me. Just
My music, I try to make it relatable for men and women. I try not to bash men a lot. Honestly, it's because I'm not that way in real life. So, I want to be that way on the track. I want to make music that my mom can listen to as well as my kids, even though they're going to have to skip a few, I just try to be mindful of everybody but also staying true to myself. it gets tough sometimes doing it alone. I get discouraged, but then it's almost like as quick as I got discouraged, it goes away just as quickly, you know, because I have to make it for my daughters. I have 2 of them, and I just truly want to show them what not giving up looks like what can happen for them if they continue on, you know. So, yeah.
You mentioned the challenges of promoting yourself as an artist. You're the creator and the promoter of your work. And I think when a lot of us get into whatever aspect of the music industry we work in, we do it because we love music, we want to make music, we want to share music with people. We don't realize that the intense amount of work that it takes to get that music out to people.
Yeah.
How do you do all that by yourself? Because it's a challenge.
It is, especially with being a full-time mom. But because it's all I've ever done, it's just a lifestyle. You know, I just have to, I prioritize my children, of course, and immediately after music. And it's because it's my number one passion. I do not feel good when I'm not doing it or making it. I've just had to find balance over the years. And as I get older and more wise, I start to get rid of the things that are not so important. Like some of the things that any way I can take some weight off of my own shoulders, I'll do that. Like even with I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock every morning and I will get my posts ready for whatever I plan to post that day. And that's just a way of keeping me from in the middle of the day when I'm doing something else, having to stop and do that. Just those small things do make a big difference ultimately. And like I said, every day I set a goal and I also figure out how I'm going to reach it, you know, and it's just those late nights and early mornings have really been the key to me being consistent with this, because during the day, it's tough to stop, especially now that I have the clothing brand. It's like I took some bricks and just added it to my back, you know, but at the same time, it's really been a great experience, you know, so
yeah,
I'm figuring it out.
I want to ask you about the clothing brand in a minute. But first, is there a song you've recorded over the last few years that you think really represents what you do or that you're particularly proud of that you'd want to share?
That's tough. I've been asked this before. And I'm so passionate about every song that I make. It's so hard to just choose one. Yeah. No.
Can you pick one, though? I want to share.
Let me see.
I want to let you pick
one,
a track from your catalog that we'll listen to now.
If I could pick a song that that is tough. So what I'll do is, and this probably doesn't answer your question, but I'll tell you a couple of my favorites.
All right.
I have a song called Away With You. It's just such a vibe. It's a really slow vibe. I really love that song. And I have a song called Decipher as well. Yeah. And I love Decipher. Now, as far as the concepts, it doesn't tell you who Joosi Got Bars is, but just as an artist, it really displayed like my range and some of the things that, you know, my writing skills. So.
Well, I appreciate you throwing a couple titles out. Let's listen to Decipher.
Okay.
This is Joosi Got Bars with Decipher.
Trying to decipher the signals you sending, cause honestly they don't be that easy for me to read. Closing my eyes while you hold me, savoring the moment. I know in a moment you gon' have to leave me. And I wanna know how it feels. So many other things that I can do with you. I wanna stay with you.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. We just heard Joosi Got Bars with Decipher, and Joosi is my guest this week. Joosi, since we last spoke, I believe you've started your own clothing brand, right?
Yes.
PLUSH.
Yes.
Tell us, it's an acronym. Tell us what PLUSH means.
PLUSH stands for pushing limits until something happens. And I always tell my supporters that when that something happens, we set a new goal and push some more. When I started PLUSH, I didn't have an acronym for it. I wanted to sell socks and little cozy things, accessories and stuff like that. But my team encouraged me to make some T-shirts when I launched. And one day I was folding the T-shirts up, and I was thinking like, man, it would be super cool if I had an acronym for that. And literally within like 5 minutes, it just came to my brain. And I was like, I told the team, I was like, what about pushing limits until something happens? And everybody's eyebrows lifted like, ooh. And it was from that point on, like we literally took the T-shirts and added the acronym to the T-shirts. The T-shirts had nothing on the back at first. And we went and added the logo with the acronym on the back. And it's been up since.
What are your goals for this? What do you have planned in the future for PLUSH?
My main thing that I told myself was not to bite off more than I can chew. I wanted to slowly grow over time. I definitely want Plush to go as far as it possibly can. I want to make sure I cross promote with the music. Whenever I'm doing a show, I ask if I can set a table up. Of course, they're going to say yeah. So I tag the clothes with my music business cards. So when you buy the clothes, you can scan my card and go to my Apple Music. Plush there are children that can wear Plush, grandmothers that can wear Plush. It's so universal, and it's a really good, clean look right now. So my goal this summer was to just flood the streets with this one logo, which is the original logo that I have. So I've been at every pop-up I can possibly be at, selling the T-shirts and just really getting a name out there, and people love it. So here in a second, I plan to drop a new logo and continue doing that. Just keep pushing, like I said, just keep pushing forward with the brand.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations on the launch of Plush.
Thank you.
Last time we were here, you spoke a lot about your daughters and how they inspire the work you're doing. You're here with one of your daughters today.
Yeah.
Tell me about how your kids inspire the work you're doing.
So my grandma has 2 daughters only. My mom has 2 daughters only, and so do I. So we've got a family full of women, and I've watched and learned from my grandma and my mom things that I feel like they did right, things that I feel like they could have done differently, and I try to use that today while I'm, raising my children. And I do not have it all figured out, but I just know that showing them some positivity, the things that I didn't have are always in the forefront of my mind, and it's important for me to make sure that they don't experience those feelings based on, what I didn't have. So I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but it's just such a blessing to be able to be that person to break the chain. That's the goal, is to just break the chains, even the smaller chains, My daughter, my oldest daughter, she's not here today, but she is about to be 16. And I am just beyond proud of the young lady that she's grown to be. And I know it's because of all those small chains that I broke along the way. So even with that, I'm grateful to my mom and my grandma for, I know they did their best, but even with that, I wouldn't have been able to be the mom that I am today if it wasn't for the mistakes that they made. So my girls, they only know me as the rapper mom because I was doing it when I was a kid. So, I mean, instrumentals banging all over the house and me rapping and rehearsing all over the place. It's a lifestyle for them. And they've been so supportive because they don't do music in any way. But they know when I'm in that mode, they'll go find something to do, or they'll respect my space. And sometimes I have to ask them, like, am I doing the most today? Like, do you need me to be quiet? And they're like, nah, do your thing, So I just really, really love them, and I just can't wait to show them what all my hard work, how it's going to change our lives, because I'm never going to stop. No amount of time or age or any obstacle is going to stop me from pushing forward. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
To hear that. Yeah. Joosi, you have a big performance coming up August 23rd at Chreece.
Yeah.
Chreece is an all-day hip-hop festival that happens in Fountain Square. This is the 10th year anniversary of Chreece. This is a big deal in the community. Everyone involved in the rap music scene just about is there, either as an audience member or a performer. Tell me what you have planned for this year's Chreece.
So this year, I've been rehearsing weekly, and I'm doing a lot of the songs that I did last year. But I feel like if I'm going to do some of the same songs, we definitely need to create a new vibe in the room. So I incorporated a drummer this year along with the DJ, and I threw in an equal amount of R&B songs versus I was heavy on the rap last year. So I want to display some of my R&B vibes this year. That's pretty much it as far as like changing the vibes. I have a lot of great songs that I feel like I haven't pushed hard enough, so I don't want to continue to just do new songs. I want to drill these songs that I love so much into everybody's head, So I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. I did throw a few new vibes in there, but the drummer changed the whole vibe of the show, the set, So I'm looking forward to rocking out. This is my second year having my own set at Chreece, my 4th year in total performing there. And it's a vibe. It's like the Super Bowl for us, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm grateful to be a part of it, honestly.
Do you know yet what venue, what time you're performing?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'll be performing at Square Cat Vinyl at 4:45 this year. It's a little earlier than last year. But I'm looking forward to going ahead and getting my set out the way so I can enjoy the rest of the night. And I've got plenty of people that I want to see. I'm looking forward to vibing out.
Yeah, that's a great place to play. They have
It
a nice
is.
stage there. You mentioned this is like the Super Bowl
Yeah.
for rappers in Indianapolis. I like that analogy. Why is it so special? You've been there. This is your second year as a headliner. You've performed many times. Why is it so special to people?
First of all, I just want to shout out TGI Freak because I got the Super Bowl thing from him, and
Okay.
he put it into perspective for me, honestly. And I was like, dude, you're right, But can you run that question back?
Yeah, why is it the Super Bowl for rappers here in Indy? What's so unique about it? and
Because
special?
it's one of the biggest festivals, if not the biggest festival that we have here. And, it's just a day of music and just being able to display your art in a way that, not every artist gets a chance to do throughout the year. My first time experiencing Chreece, I didn't even know where I was. I just knew I had to go do a feature for someone, and I pulled up, and I honestly don't think I even stayed around very long after my set to really get the full experience. But moving forward, once I found out what it was, I was like, oh, okay, this is a thing, and it's like we work all year long just to be able to get that stamp. I'll never forget, I literally had footage of getting that call from Chreece, and I cried. And for me, it's like it was just the little girl inside of me that used to sit at home saying that I can't wait till I can be on stage, or I can't wait till people know my name. And it's like when you get a phone call and you're being recognized for all the hard work you've put in, it's just that feeling you get, it's unexplainable. So even though Chreece is here in the city and I have bigger plans for myself, I still definitely respect Chreece and what it's done for us here at home.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Thank you.
Joosi, you told me you have some projects coming up this year. You got an album in the works?
Yeah.
Tell us what we can expect from you this year. Yeah.
So my album is called Miss Miyagi. I was working on...
I like that.
Thank you. I was working on a mixtape, a two-sided, like A and B mixtape. I was trying to take it back to the old days, but I put that on hold because I had some life things going on. And normally I never force the music, but normally when life is getting heavy, album mode is much better. It gives me something to focus on. I take album mode way more serious than mixtape mode. So Miss Miyagi is a project that I feel like is needed right now. The name is slightly cocky, but at the same time, the album won't be. The album is more of like Mr. Miyagi was knowledgeable. He was all about respect. He wasn't really for the competitiveness, but at the same time, he had it. He definitely had the juice like I do. So, yeah.
That's a great title.
Thank you.
Joosi, before we go today, I want to give you a chance to share any final thoughts you have, any shout-outs you want to give. Yeah, go for it.
I just want to shout out anyone that supports me. There's no way I could do what I do without the support, whether it's the music or PLUSH or even just the kind words and the push when you see me out, the hugs and just everything. Like, I literally couldn't do it without my supporters. So I just want to shout out my supporters. For sure.
Appreciate that. Do you want to pick a final song before we go? Maybe does your daughter have a favorite track that you've
Do you have a favorite
recorded?
song? Okay.
You want to get on mic and
What's your
introduce
favorite song
it?
by Mommy?
Joosi is my name.
Joosi, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
for
here
having
today.
me. Thank you.
This is Joosi is my name.
Joosi is my name. Natural curly hair. Please don't touch. Joosi is my name.
Joosi is my name. Not no Josie.
Joosi is
None of
my
that.
name.
Big Juice.
Natural curly hair. Please don't touch.
Big light skin, pretty bitch with the hat to match the home court fit. I don't really play like this, but since you asked, you should probably go on forfeit. Yeah, I'ma show my gon' put me on your list. Make you put down the phone for this. Close your eyes in the zone for this.
WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Visit Bloomington, Indiana, where Hoagie Carmichael, Booker T. Jones, and John Mellencamp impacted the city and helped it become a music destination. Bloomington is home to a variety of musical artists, live music venues, and hundreds of annual music events. More information at musicbloomington.com.